Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick DIY video on how to make your own sponge filter. There's a lot of other good videos on YouTube on how to do this, but I want to try and do it quick and simple. So what you're going to need is a piece of PVC pipe. I think this is a 1/2 inch, and it's a little bit shorter than the aquarium I'm going to put it in. You'll need a cap that's on said PVC pipe, and a 90-degree angled attachment that fits on the PVC pipe. You're also going to need airline tubing with an air stone, some silicone for aquariums. This one specifically says not for aquariums, but I've used it in my aquariums and all my fish are fine. So there's that. And the last thing is you're going to need a tile or something to hold down the sponge filter. It's really up to your preference. This was 16 cents. This one was 40 cents. So I'm going to go with the black one because I think it fits my decor better. And the last thing you need is a aquarium sponge. I got this at my local aquarium store. We have a lot of specialty fish stores around here. This was 10 bucks, and I'm going to use this for a whole bunch of different sponge filters. I'm going to cut it the way I need it to. But if you can't find it there, you can find it online at a lot of different stores on eBay and Amazon. So what you want to do is you're going to drill holes, okay, up the sides, and I do it about every quarter, and just to give you some sense of how distant they are, yeah, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. I'm going to use my Dremel for that, and I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, so as you can see, I've drilled some holes using my Dremel. You also would be well off if you had a power drill. That might be actually a little bit easier, and you can make the holes a little bit bigger. Now, you don't have to do it all the way up the way that I did, but I have a lot of different tanks. So what I want to do is I want to be able to have multiple sponges on here. That way if I start a new tank, I've got some sponge filter material that's already got the good bacteria in it, and I can just move it from one tank to the next. So I should also mention that I got this in the PVC section. They come in 2-foot sections, and I used a handsaw in the molding section to cut the piece that I wanted to this size. So your cap goes on the bottom. Notice I didn't drill any holes past that cap. That's going to go like that. Your sponge is going to go on here. So I've got my aquarium sponge, and you can cut it into any kind of shape that you want. You can do like a triangle if you want it to sit in the corner, something like that. For mine, I want it to be pretty much the full length. Okay, so I'm going to go down to about where the holes are, up to right about there. Okay, and the way I cut it, a lot of people have different techniques, but I have found that this sort of knife works really, really well. So, sorry if you can't see it here, but I'm just going to saw it like a cake. Ooh, watch out for the cell phone. Okay, so there you go. That's my sponge that I'm going to use for my filter, and you can see I've got plenty left over if I want to make additional sponge filters, which I will be doing for this project. The next thing you need to do is this has to go on here. So some people put it in a container with water and put it in the freezer and then drill a hole through it. I am not that patient, so once again I take the knife and just kind of make a hole that way, And it's not really going to be a hole, it's really going to be more of just like a slit. But it works well enough. So, if I was really into getting this perfect, I would probably use the drill method because it's not exactly centered, but it's good enough for my purposes, so that's how I'm going to use it. So your sponge goes onto the filter. So that's, for me, that's perfect. I like that. And I cheated a little bit because I have the air stone already here. But you're going to take your 90-degree cap and drill one hole in the top. And that's where your airline tubing is going to get threaded in. So you can see the airline tubing is threaded in through here with the air stone at the bottom. Alright? So you put it so the air stone is all the way at the bottom. Oops. Okay? And then you put that on. Alright, so this is the filtering apparatus itself. Now the problem is that this is going to kind of float away if you just leave it as is. So this is where the silicone comes in. Alright? And your tile. Now I have one that I was repairing, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you that one. So here's my tile, my expensive 16-cent tile. And you can see I really just put a ton of silicone around that. And the reason is because when I first did it, I just put a little dollop down on the bottom. And every time I had to change the sponge, or if I needed to change the tank and I needed to wring the sponge out because it got dirty, I would end up twisting this off. So make sure you leave a full 24 hours for it to cure. That doesn't mean overnight. It means 24 hours. So if you started at 6 p.m. today, don't put it in your tank until 6 p.m. tomorrow. Alright? So you're going to end up having this, except this will have the filter on it. Okay? And the way this works is the air gets pumped down through the tube. Okay? It gets out through the air stone. Now the air obviously is going to try to go straight back up. That is going to go back up and it's going to come out 90 degrees with your 90-degree attachment, and that's just good for aeration. The holes are where water comes in. So because you're forcing air in and air is coming back out, something needs to replace that. It's going to be your aquarium water. So it gives you a mechanical filtration. So it takes the dirt and things out. But it's also going to give you a nice place for the so-called good bacteria. So the bacteria that changes ammonia to nitrite and nitrite to nitrate. Okay, so ammonia and nitrite, those are not very good for your tank. If you have not cycled your tank, you'll find higher levels of those. If you have a well-cycled tank, you might find some nitrate and maybe a very small amount of nitrite, but really those shouldn't be a problem for a well-cycled tank. So, that's really all there is to it. I hope this helps you, and thank you for watching. Be careful when you do this. Bye.